Hello, Tim from Fair Play now on the 3rd of July 2022. No video from me yesterday because I got back from the latest London event pretty late last night. And if I had one criticism of it, it just went too long. The actual marching part of it was quite a lot longer than normal, and it kind of, as far as I'm concerned, it went on too far, all the way from Hyde Park to Hampstead Heath, which is a reasonable old hike, and I think many people were lost along the way. Probably sort of got to certain tube stations and just called it a day and off they went. But apart from that, as you might have seen from my earlier video I put on today, it was full of energy, pretty good attendance as well, and I'll leave a link to that video in the description box and comment section below here. But yeah, I got back last night and I was pretty tired, and although I started the editing on that video, I didn't finish it and get it uploaded until this morning. But you might have noticed, if you've watched that other video, I talked to three fantastic ladies. All said stuff that really resonated with me. And before I talk about them any further, the theme of yesterday's shopping trip, as I always call these things, was a little bit different from the previous ones. Not so much to do with the lurgy and lockdowns, but more to do with general erosion of freedoms, because that is really what is happening in this country at the moment. There's so many bills going through Parliament at the moment, or being proposed, all of which seem to be designed to erode our freedoms more and more and more and more, sort of losing our freedom to go on these sort of marches, losing our freedom of speech and expression, and even losing our freedom to homeschooling and that sort of thing. It's, they're bringing in or planning on legislation against that kind of thing, and it's something we really need to be on guard about. And you might ask, what is the point of even going on these kind of marches? Well, the third lady I talked to, Fifi, her name is, she made the very valid point that you and I might not think there's any point to these marches, but the government obviously do, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be trying to ban them, would they? So I thought that was a really, really good point. And the government are afraid of these kind of protests. They do take notice of them, and well, it appears they would dearly like to curtail them, or do away with them altogether perhaps. So it's something we really need to be on our guard about. And the first lady who I talked to, she also made the really good point, is what we ought to do is kind of expand on these and just have a big national event. You could even make bank holiday of it, a national holiday, and call it something along the lines of National Freedom Day, which would be, I think, a way of not only raising and maintaining awareness of the importance of freedom and the importance of not having it gradually eroded away by tyrannical governments. It would just increase the love of freedom in this country. And if it became a really big thing, a really huge festival sort of thing, with all sorts of things could go on in this sort of national holiday, all kinds of workshops and events and festivals up and down the country, just all to celebrate freedom. Maybe a special freedom flag could be thought up, and that could just be plastered all over London. People could wear that flag during National Freedom Day. And if you did that, I think it would make the government's job of imposing more tyrannical measures much more difficult, indeed impossible, because there'd be a lot of more awareness of tyranny and about freedom, and if they tried anything, it would be obvious, and a zillion people would come down on them like a ton of bricks. So that is basically what the First Lady was hinting at. And just in case you think such a thing would be absolutely nonsensical and wouldn't do anything whatsoever, one fairly ironic thing was where we started from in Hyde Park yesterday. It was right next to the Pride event. I'm not sure what they did. They either stayed in Hyde Park or went on a march in a totally different direction. As I say, we went north towards Hampstead Heath, and then they must have gone in another direction if they were marching. But I think it's just come to an end of Pride Month, and well, we all know what that's for. It's to sort of make sure that the government and other people can't do anything against that community. The awareness has been raised so high, and it would be absolutely impossible for them to do that. So why not do the same thing for us? Something that will, benefit not just whatever the percentage is, 5% of the population is it these days, but something that would benefit 100% of the population. So I thought that was great, and why not have a National Freedom Day? I think it could do this country a lot of good and save us from a lot of harm. And just finish this off talking about the second lady I interviewed in my other video uploaded today, and she runs an organisation called Keep It Cash, and as the name suggests, it's she's very keen on keeping cash within our society and not just going totally over to digital. And if you watch her speaking, she makes it very plain why this is so important, because if we lose cash, that will make the government's job of imposing tyranny, sort of a social credit system, etc., way more easy, because they could just then dictate what you spend your money on, what you can't spend your money on, when you can have access to your money, when you can't have it, which is all stuff they can't do now with cash. So although it sounds slightly disconnected from the whole of the rest of the theme of yesterday, it's all interconnected for the reasons I've just mentioned. And before I go, I've just mentioned one really ironic thing. When I was interviewing the Keep It Cash lady, I did that interview standing literally only about 20 yards away from this snack kiosk in Hyde Park, which only accepted card only and no cash. I went up there because I quite fancied a cup of coffee, but I said to them, do you take cash, or was it card only? And they said card only. And then I said in a loud voice, making sure everybody around me heard it, well, in that case, I won't be buying anything from you, will I? And then I went off to a couple of ladies saying, good for you, who obviously had the same passion about cash as the Keep It Cash lady. So that is all quite funny, really. Anyway, back tomorrow. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.